Francisco for Game 3 of this big series between the Braves and the Giants, a series with major postseason implications.
Up a season-high 3-game lead in the National League West on the second-place Dodgers. As I welcome in my partner, Tim McCarver. Giants have won the first two in this series. Angel Pagan has been their catalyst.
Well, I should say so. The Giants center fielder at the top of his game, along with the rest of the top of the lineup, with flurries of hits, stolen bases, and great defense all week long. It may be the best week of Angel Pagan's career.
He was 4 for 5 in last night's win over Atlanta. Braves struggling. They have dropped 6 of their last 7, but still tied for the wild card lead with St. Louis.
Yeah, well, for the last week, it's been just the opposite for the Atlanta Braves. They have not played well early. Ideally, what they'd like to do is have the lead after 6 innings and then let that bullpen come in. I mean, after all, they're undefeated with the lead after 6 innings of play.
45-0 this season,
right,
when leading after 6. So the Braves look to bounce back. Giants hope to make it 3 in a row over Atlanta. 2 of the game's young stars, Jason Hayward, Buster Posey. Giants Braves next on Fox. From the Giants and the Braves on a 56-degree afternoon. The Atlanta Braves come in with a record of 71 and 55, second place in the National League East, tied for the wild card lead. The Braves batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Michael Bourne leads off, followed by Martin Prado. Jason Hayward hits third. Freddie Freeman, 2 home runs last night in the cleanup spot. Then catcher David Ross, left fielder Reed Johnson. Bottom of the order, Dan Uggla, Paul Janisch, and the pitcher Mike Minor. Chipper Jones and Brian McCann not in the Braves starting lineup this afternoon as Atlanta gets set to face the 14-game winner, 23-year-old left-hander Madison Bumgarner.
A young 23-year-old who will get some votes for the Cy Young Award. And instead of giving you separate scouting reports this afternoon, we thought we'd tell you about the similarities between Mike Minor, Madison Bumgarner. Not only right-handed hitters, they both throw left-handed, and they're from very small towns. In fact, you combine their towns of Hudson, North Carolina, and Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and there are 4,200 people that populate those two small cities. So our ratings in those cities, villages today should be roaring.
And a combined 6 stoplights.
6 stoplights, that's right.
Our opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Giants won the first 2 games of this series, 5-2 on Thursday, 5-3 last night, as Michael Bourne steps in to lead off against Madison Bumgarner, who is 0-2 in 3 career starts against the Atlanta Braves. And Bourne looking to bunt his way on. So Michael Bourne setting the table the way Angel Pagan has done so for the Giants the last 2 nights.
Well, 2 nights ago, Hunter Pence did that in a game situation. He found the seam on the right side, and that's exactly what Michael Bourne does. Try to get it between the pitcher and the first baseman. That makes the first baseman commit, Brandon Belt, and by the time Scutaro got to first base, there was no play. So an infield bunt hit for Michael Bourne.
So the leadoff man reaching here in the top of the first inning. And now Bumgarner will face Martin Prado, knowing that the National League leader in steals is on at first base. Bourne with 35 stolen bases in 43 attempts, as Bumgarner catches the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 on Prado.
Yeah, it's a double whammy when Bourne can get on first base, and Martin Prado, batting second, is very adept at going to right field. He can split that hole, and the second baseman has to protect against the double play and cheat a bit at second. Like that. That's what he was trying to do there.
So Prado falls behind 0-2. He's 0 for 8 lifetime against Bumgarner. Bourne, the runner on first, following his bunt single. Jason Hayward waiting on deck, then Freddie Freeman. The 0-2 from Bumgarner, and it gets past the shortstop Arias into left field for a base hit. So the Braves, with runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the first inning, as we check out the Giants defensively. Brought to you by Chevrolet. In left field, Francisco Peguero making his major league debut. Pagan in center, Pence in right. Around the infield, Belt, Scutaro, Arias, and Sandoval. The battery of Bumgarner and Posey.
Shortstop Joaquin Arias did not see that ball hit by Prado that well. He had a poor jump.
So with 2 on, nobody out. Here's Jason Hayward, who hit his 22nd home run of the season in last night's game. All 3 Braves runs last night coming via solo home runs.
Bourne not running. That ball not hit that well, but Arias with a bad jump to his right. And instead of at least 1 man retired, it's first and second, nobody out for the Braves.
The 0-1 to Hayward, and it's popped foul off to the right side. 0-2. Born in Hickory, North Carolina, he grew up in Hudson, as Tim mentioned. First round draft pick by the Giants, 10th overall back in 2007. A 13-game winner last year, has already set a new career high with 14 wins this season. 6th in the National League in earned run average. Running into some trouble here in the top of the first inning. A bunt single by Bourne, and then a single into left field off the bat of Prado. Bumgarner has thrown 6 pitches, all strikes, but 2 on, nobody out. And Hayward throws this one into right. Under it to make the catch is Pence as Bourne tags. Braves now have runners on the corners with 1 out, and Freddie Freeman stepping to the plate. Last night here at AT&T Park, a pair of solo home runs off Ryan Vogelsong, the first coming in the 2nd inning. And then Freeman doing it again in the 7th, his 3rd career 2-home run game. So Freeman in to face Bumgarner with runners on the corners and 1 out. Freeman 3 for 8 with a home run against Bumgarner. And that is the first ball here in the top of the 1st inning. Thrown by Madison Bumgarner.
It's always interesting to see how guys start their stances and starts their swings with Freddie Freeman curling that bat a lot like Darryl Strawberry did when he was younger. Have to have awfully quick hands, and he does. And only a young hitter can hold his hands like that. When you're older, you have too much to do before you get to the strike zone. Freddie a little late on that fastball.
Freeman down on strikes. Now 2 away.
It's interesting, both the 2nd strike and the 3rd strike were high fastballs. And with this type stance, a young guy with a quick bat like Freeman, a tough time getting to that pitch.
What are some of the things older players must do before the ball gets to the strike zone?
They have to cheat. And when you cheat, you have to cheat, which means you have to start earlier. That's why Gene Mock used to say, an older player, an older hitter, you need to throw a lot of breaking balls too, because he's cheating for that fastball. His hands aren't as quick as they were when he was younger.
David Ross, 0-1. We talked to him yesterday. You think that 215 is accurate?
No, I think he weighs more than that. More like 230. He's a big guy, 6'5", and just a delightful young man. We laughed about as much as you can laugh the day before a pitcher goes to the mound. Great sense of humor.
Prado goes, and Ross sends this to deep left field, and the catch is made on the warning track by Pagero. His first action in the major leagues. Braves strand 2 in the 1st. Thursday night here in San Francisco, Barry Zito shut down the Braves, allowed only 2 runs in 8 innings, picking up his 10th win of the season. And then last night, Angel Pagan, 4 for 5, his 7th career 4-hit game, including this tie-breaking RBI triple in the 4th inning. Giants win the second of this series, 5-3. San Francisco has won 5 straight. That matches their season-long winning streak. 15-6 over their last 21. A look at the Giants batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss. Pagan leads off, then Scutero. Sandoval hits third. Posey in the cleanup spot. Hunter Pence bats fifth. Then Joaquin Arias, Brandon Belt, Francisco Figueroa, and the pitcher Madison Bumgarner. As the Giants get set to face the 24-year-old left-hander Mike Minor. He's pitched a lot better than his record. As of late, he has not received much run support from his teammates.
In his last 8 starts, while he was in the game, the Atlanta Braves have not scored a run. He has pitched much, much better than that 6-10 record indicates.
Against the Giants, he's allowed only 1 run in 12 innings in 2 career starts. And again, both big left-handers come from small towns. They both throw 4-seam fastballs, facing each other for the first time. 1-1 to Pagan, missing low and inside, ball 2.
And what does that mean that they both throw 4-seam fastballs? If you're a right-handed batter, then that means that the left-handed pitcher doesn't have a fastball that goes away from you. Everything is coming in.
Nice play by the third baseman Prado to throw out Pagan. Defensively for the Atlanta Braves, brought to you by Chevrolet. In the outfield, Reed Johnson, Michael Bourne, and Jason Hayward. Freeman at first, Ugley at second, Giannis at short, Prado for Chipper Jones at third. The battery of Minor and Ross. One away for Marco Scutero, acquired from the Colorado Rockies on July 27th. And he's been terrific in 27 games with the Giants. He's batting .339, currently working on a 5-game hitting streak. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. The 0-2 from Minor to Scutero. And it's a base hit into right field. So Scutero extends his hitting streak to 6 games. He's down 10 for his last 22.
Yeah. Startup production for the first 3 guys. This is what the Giants triumvirate, the first 3 guys in their last 5 games. They have been all over the place. As we said in the open, the top of the lineup at the top of their game.
Giants, of course, without Melky Cabrera, suspended for the remainder of the regular season, a 50-game suspension. And since that was handed down, the Giants have gone 7-2.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's saying that, it would be easy to crawl under a rock and blame the Cabrera suspension on going poorly, but the Giants have really responded under dire conditions and deserve a lot of credit.
Sandoval takes strike 1.
Kind of what the A's are going through right now, just across the bay. Bartolo Colon suspended this week.
A's only 6 out of the American League West. Big win over the Tampa Bay Rays last night. And a 4-2 final today down in St. Pete. Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves looking to snap out of their 1-6 stretch. They've had trouble scoring runs. They were terrific prior to these last 7 games. They went 29-11 over a 40-game stretch.
It was a huge game, even though only, one win this week, and that win was on Wednesday night against the Nationals. They had to have that game.
Sandoval down on strikes. First strikeout for Mike Minor.
Good changeup to Sandoval, who has a strike zone about as large as from here to Napa. Get 2 strikes on him, he'll go after anything.
And he did. So now 2 away for Buster Posey. What a comeback season it has been for Buster. Lost in late May last season in that collision at home plate. National League Rookie of the Year in 2010. He's 4th in the league in batting average, 5th in runs batted in. And how about those numbers since the All-Star break?
All-Star starter, and who was supposed to be the All-Star starter, Yadier Molina of the St. Louis Cardinals, is also in the top 5 in hitting. And for this late in the season, it's rare to see 2 catchers in the top 5 in hitting. I say this late in the season because usually they're beat up so much that they can't sustain a high batting average.
Now 2-2. Posey, born in Leesburg, Georgia. Attended Lee County High School. He was a big Braves fan, Chipper Jones fan as a youngster. Scudero, the runner on first with 2 outs. And the 2-2 count on Posey.
By the way, speaking as you look at the 25-year-old, the background of Buster, Chipper Jones will be our guest since he's not playing today. He'll be talking with us in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
We look forward to that. Payoff pitch to Posey, and he gets a piece of it. Chipper Jones in what he has said will be his final season as a major leaguer, putting up terrific numbers at the age of 40. Day off today for Chipper. What a day.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. What a venue. To me, my favorite ballpark right here.
Many would agree. Called strike 3. Second consecutive strikeout for Minor. 1 inning in the books here in San Francisco. By Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Jeep. Back in San Francisco, top of the second inning. Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver, and Ken Rosenthal. Reed Johnson leads off for the Braves against Madison Bumgarner. Johnson takes ball one. Johnson, Ugla, and Giannis for Atlanta here at the top of the second inning. Johnson acquired from the Cubs July 30th. He's also played for the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Bounce to the third baseman, Sandoval, playing it on the grass, and he throws out Johnson for out number one. Well, unless you've been hiding under a rock for the last 24 hours, you are well aware of the blockbuster deal which became official earlier today between the Red Sox and the Dodgers. Adrian Gonzalez, Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford, Nick Punto, now members of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And as we head downstairs to Ken Rosenthal, from a Dodger standpoint, Ken, why?
Kenny, as I said on the pregame show, they are trying to reestablish their brand, make themselves again one of the preeminent sports franchises in LA, if not the entire country. Also, Adrian Gonzalez, Mexican-American star, will have great value in the Los Angeles market. And really, from a baseball perspective, this was all about Gonzalez. To get him, the Dodgers were willing to take Beckett, to take Crawford, and to give up two top pitching prospects.
Seems to me, Ken, that in the process also the Red Sox brand has taken a hit.
It has, Tim, but this is a huge step for them in terms of what they've done to gain flexibility, regain flexibility for their franchise. It isn't every day, guys, that you can clear $250 million worth of salaries. Wow. And that's what the Red Sox have done here. And it gives them, going forward, the ability to do any number of things. What I expect them to do right now is become more of a youth-oriented team. We've seen Middlebrooks and Dubron. There are more prospects coming. They've got the two prospects coming over in this deal. It's not that the Red Sox will no longer spend money, but they clearly decided that they wanted a new direction. And, man, this is a new direction.
Well, it certainly is, Ken. Dan Ugla at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Top of the second inning. Tim, I read a tweet last night, and I wish I could give proper credit. I cannot remember who tweeted it, but
I probably missed that tweet.
And I know it wasn't you that put it out there, but
no,
somebody wrote that following this trade, Magic Johnson might be more popular today in Boston than Larry Bird.
That is great. Oh, that's wonderful. That's a good one.
And again, I apologize that I could not give proper credit. Now, speaking of tweeting, and I know, Tim, you were all over this earlier today, Nick Punto tweeted a photo of himself, Josh Beckett, and Adrian Gonzalez
How about that?
heading to Los Angeles to meet the Dodgers. As Ugla is called out on strike, second strikeout for Madison Bumgarner. Ken, I know you were all over this tweet from Nick Punto.
Absolutely, Kenny. And there's one thing I want to add here from the Red Sox perspective. Keep in mind, Beckett had not performed well at all this season, needed to get out of Boston. Crawford, never comfortable in Boston. And even Adrian Gonzalez, as good a player as he is, there are signs of decline. Now, he's been really hot for a couple of months, but his numbers overall are down. So from the Red Sox perspective, you can say, well, we're getting rid of 3 declining assets, 3 very expensive assets, and that's not a bad thing to do.
1-1 now on Giannis, and Tim, Ken, the 3 of us were at Yankee Stadium last Saturday for the Red Sox Yankees on Fox. The Dodgers had to have been watching that game, members of their front office, because Nick Punto had the game of his life.
Game of his life. 8 assists at third base. He was all over the place. Big hits throughout the win for the Red Sox. And Nick Punto making $1.5 million, and we were kidding around in the truck about 3 hours ago. And I was trying to figure up my salaries total for 20 years. Now retired in 1979. $971,000. I still didn't make as much as Nick Punto did.
That was over a 20-year span, not in one season, folks. We'll continue on this subject in a moment as Giannis
I still have to work.
Is presented by Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. Late summer here in San Francisco, the America's Cup World Series, new circuit of racing with events in Europe and around the world. And this week they are here in San Francisco for the first time, Tim. And then next summer, a full 3 months of America's Cup racing right here in the Bay Area. Hunter Pence leads off for the Giants and fouls off the first pitch from Mike Minor. Pence, Arias, and Belt for San Francisco here in the bottom of the second inning. As we went to break, we were talking about Tim McCarver's career salary. 20 seasons in the major leagues, $971,000. And I was amazed prior to the game that you were able to rattle the year-by-year numbers off the top of your head. And as I said to you this morning, it's a good thing the second career worked out for you.
You never forget not being paid enough.
Here's the 1-2 to Pence. And the conversation started when we looked at that graphic and saw the astronomical salaries, of course, for Gonzalez, Crawford, and Beckett. And we were joking at the 1.5 figure on the right side under Nick Punto's name. Not making light of Nick, but just comparing his salary to the three others.
And comparing the salaries of yesteryear and today.
Pence down on strikes. The throw to first by Ross. And we head east to the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break with Matt Vescursion.
Kenny, Twins and Rangers. Ian Kinsler has homered. Nelson Cruz has doubled in a run. Texas has an early lead. The big news here is that Adrian Beltre has had no part of it. Trying to keep pace with Oakland, who has already won today. Texas up by 6 in the AL West. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. Back to Kenny and Tim in San Francisco.
All right, thanks, Matt. Joaquin Arias flies out to Reed Johnson in left center for out number 2. Matt mentioning Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers as we take another look at that graphic and the money owed to Gonzalez, Crawford, Beckett, and Punto after this 2012 season.
Man, I don't think a trade of that magnitude, in my view, has ever been after the trading deadline of July 31st. The trading deadline, by the way, used to be June 15th. It became July 31st in 1986. And of course, those guys had to clear waivers, and they did. And they are members of the Dodgers now. What a blockbuster.
July 31st, the non-waiver trade deadline, and then any trades made after that, players must clear waivers, which they did. And they are headed to Los Angeles. Dodgers hosting the Marlins once again tonight. The 2-1 to Brandon Belt. Left field. Johnson. A 1-2-3 second for Mike Minor. No score here in San Francisco. Welcome back to Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Budweiser. From AT&T Park in San Francisco, Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, Mike Minor leads off for the Braves here in the top of the third inning against Madison Bumgarner. Minor, one of only 20 current players, and 18 of the 20 are pitchers who throw with their left hand and bat right-handed.
It is odd in baseball. There are so few where that's the case. The only two regulars, Cody Ross of the Red Sox, bats right-handed, throws left-handed, as does Ryan Ludwig, who has had a resurgence over the second half of the season for the Cincinnati Reds.
But for a pitcher, it exposes that left arm and left hand.
That's a very, very good point. By the way, the best position player to ever be that right-handed batter, left-handed thrower, Ricky Henderson across the bay. He did it for so many years for the Oakland Athletics.
And he used both legs to run, his left leg and his right leg.
Right.
Minor, then Bourne, then Prado for the Braves here in the third. Minor just one base hit this season in 41 at-bats with 20 strikeouts, but he stays alive.
We were kidding with Mike last night and asking him how much he was looking forward to this matchup today. He said, I'm not looking forward to it. His at-bats is what he cares about, not whether he gets a hit or not.
Although Bumgarner in his last start Monday in Los Angeles, he was outstanding. Did not allow a run in 8 innings, struck out 10. He allowed 4 hits, but 2 to the opposing pitcher, Clayton Kershaw.
Right.
And he walks Mike Minor.
Unbelievable.
First walk issued by Madison Bumgarner. As we head back downstairs to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, Braves made a couple of roster moves earlier today.
Well, Kenny, the Braves had been going with 6 starting pitchers. They had planned to go down to 5 after August 30th. But as so often happens in baseball, the decision was made for them. Ben Sheets going on the DL today with right shoulder inflammation. Sheets had been a great comeback story, struggled in his last 5 starts. They expect him back after 15 days, but just wasn't going for him last night. Couldn't finish his pitches. One concern still, Tommy Hanson, 6.82 ERA in his last 6 starts.
Thanks, Ken. And Freddie Gonzalez told us earlier that the Braves were planning on going back from the 6-man rotation to the 5-man rotation anyway in a couple of days due to their schedule. So with Sheets now on the disabled list, it makes the decision easier as far as who comes out of that 6-man rotation. In fact, there is no decision.
And Ben Sheets winning his first 3 starts, but from that time on, not real effective.
So 41-year-old Miguel Batista has joined the Braves, started this season with the New York Mets. Braves getting outstanding pitching since the All-Star break. Bourne down on strikes, 3rd strikeout for Bumgarner, 1 away. Fox Saturday Baseball returns next week with 3 games that all have playoff implications. It will be the Phillies and the Braves in Atlanta. Cardinals take on the Nationals, Angels, and the Mariners. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by MasterCard returns next week at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. 1 away. Here's Martin Prado, who singled his first time up. The pitcher Mike Minor, the runner on first, after he walked for the 2nd time this season. So Bumgarner walks the opposing pitcher coming off his 3rd start this season, in which he struck out at least 10 and did not walk a batter.
Go figure. That's the first time in Giants history that a pitcher has had 10 or more strikeouts and did not walk a batter in any start. That goes back to 1900.
Wow.
And here he opens the inning walking Mike Minor.
In fact, that game on Monday, Kershaw and Bumgarner each striking out 10 and walking none. Only the 3rd time in history that has happened. Both starting pitchers, at least 10 strikeouts, no walks. And now Bumgarner has walked 2 in this inning as we take you back to Monday night in Los Angeles. Bumgarner, 8 shutout innings as he wins the duel with Clayton Kershaw.
That was a series, by the way, not only swept by the Giants, but the Dodgers were never tied in those 3 games. The Giants took the lead in the top of the 1st inning in every game.
Wow. But Bumgarner running into trouble here in the third inning. He has walked 2. And the first pitch to Jason Hayward is high. Ball 1. In case you're wondering, the other 2 instances in which both starting pitchers struck out at least 10 and did not walk a batter. 2003, Javier Vasquez and Mark Pryor. 1997, Aaron Seeley and Roger Clemens, as Hayward crushes this one. No doubt about it. Jason Hayward with a 3-run shot. His 23rd home run of the season. Braves lead 3-0.
Boy, you talk about jumping on top of a high fastball right below the letters. A splashdown here at AT&T Park. No, it was not. I beg your pardon.
Came close.
Landed in that standing room only and straight away right field. Now, Bumgarner has got to be very upset with himself, not because of the home run to Hayward, but the walk to Mike Minor to start this inning.
Double whammy, leadoff walk, and it's the opposing pitcher.
Yeah.
As we head back downstairs to Ken Rosenthal, Ken, Hayward and Bumgarner have a bit of a history.
They do, going back to when they were 18 years old in the South Atlantic League. I asked Hayward about Bumgarner yesterday, and he said he remembered him quite well. Bumgarner, even then, had the deception, the above-average fastball for a left-hander. And Hayward said, hey, look up his numbers, see how good he was. Well, I did. In that league, Bumgarner was 15-3 with a 1.46 ERA.
And during his minor league career, Bumgarner with a record of 34-6. But he's fallen behind 3-0. As Freeman grounds out to the second baseman, Scudero, for out number 2. It's Hayward's first major league home run off Bumgarner. He's 3 for 10 against Madison Lifetime. So he took Vogelsong deep last night. And now Bumgarner here in the third inning. So with 2 away, here's David Ross. Flight out to Peguero on the warning track in left field. Stranding 2 back in the first inning. You know, it's amazing, Tim. The Braves now have 4 home runs in the last 2 games. Freeman 2 last night, Hayward last night, and again today. The Giants here at home this season in 63 games have hit 20 home runs.
There are 3 major league players that have as many as 20 home runs in their home park. And the Giants have done it collectively. By the way, that's the first home run to a left-handed hitter in this ballpark thrown up by Bumgarner this year.
Wow. And only the 7th home run he has allowed to a left-handed hitter in his career. As Ross shoots it into right. When we come back, we will chat live from the Braves dugout with Chipper Jones. His teammate Jason Hayward goes deep, 3-0 Braves. Welcome back to San Francisco. Braves lead 3-0. Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver, and Ken Rosenthal as Francisco Peguero in his first major league at bat fouls one off into the Braves dugout. He's 24 years of age, recalled earlier this week. Fouled off to the right side. 0-2 as we welcome in the future first ballot Hall of Famer from the Braves dugout, Chipper Jones. Now in his 19th season. You see his career numbers. Chipper, first of all, thank you very much for joining us. And with Peguero at the plate, what do you remember about your first major league at bat against Cincinnati back in September of '93?
It seems like it was yesterday. I can remember walking up to the plate and not being able to feel my arms or my legs or anything. I just wanted to make sure if they gave me 3 strikes, I wanted to get 3 hacks in.
I'll tell you, Chipper, I was working for the Mets at the time, and I did that game in Port St. Lucie where you stepped on that drainage thing on the way to first base. You hurt your right knee, and you missed the whole season back in 1994.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was, that was the first one of many knee injuries that have caused me problems. But, it's just one of those bad breaks that early in your career you got to overcome. And it's been 19 years of overcoming stuff and persevering and just doing what it takes to get back out there on an everyday basis.
Chipper, if it weren't for the knee problems, would you consider coming back next year for one more time?
I would, to be honest with you. It's a situation where, on a daily basis, I can't, the management and my teammates can't depend on me to be able to play every day. And the major reason is because of, 2,500 games on these wobbly knees, and some days I'm just happy that when I get out of bed, both feet hit the ground at the same time. But it's an everyday thing, and it's not fair to the organization to not know whether or not I can play every day or not.
Now, whenever the Braves have made their final trip to each major league city this season, you've received some nice retirement gifts. The number 10 from the Fenway scoreboard. Photos with former teammates in Washington earlier this week. What's been the best gift that you've received during this 2012 season?
Well, I'd have to say the Washington trip was the one that probably got me the most misty because, Adam LaRoche and Mark DeRosa are 2 of my best friends in the game. And really nice memento. I hit the first home run there at Washington in the new ballpark, and they had the bat and the picture in the museum out there, so they gave that to me as a present. That's a really, really nice moment. So I got a Stan Musial jersey in St. Louis that's obviously going to go front and center in the man cave. So there have been too many to count. I'm just awfully appreciative of all the gratitude I've received throughout this year.
Not too many guys have a number 6 Stan Musial shirt hanging in there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a huge student of the game and a historian. I certainly look up to the numbers those guys put up. Back in the day, and Stan the Man was just that. He was the man back in the day.
So what are some of the things that you plan on doing next year that you have not been able to do for the last 2 decades during the baseball season?
Well, I've never been on a spring break vacation with my kids, never been on a summer vacation with my kids. I got some bucket list things that I like to take care of before I get back into the game. I certainly see myself wearing the uniform again at some point in some capacity, but not for a few years. Maybe do a little TV, hang out with the boys, and then 5, 6, 7 years down the road, maybe
Chipper,
get back into it.
You're too young for a bucket list. Come on.
I've always wanted to go over to England and play golf, and go on some fishing trips in the springtime, and stuff like that I'm always too busy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's certainly not too young to head out on a spring break trip.
No.
Here's the payoff pitch to Pagan. Look out.
I'm about to get killed over here. It's the second time this inning.
You mentioned a possible TV career. It is a little safer up here in the booth.
Yeah, a little farther away from home plate. I've got a chance to do it a time or two when I've been on the DL there in Atlanta with Chip Carey and Joe Simpson, and I enjoy it. I don't want to just get out of the game and jump right back into the lifestyle.
Well, Pagan strikes out. Chipper, congratulations on a tremendous career. Thanks for joining us. We'll certainly see you down the road.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Chipper.
DirecTV. Now NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. And by Michelin, a better way forward. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in San Francisco. Braves lead the Giants 3-0 as Reed Johnson leads off for Atlanta here in the top of the fourth inning against Madison Bumgarner, who ran into trouble in the third. He walked two Braves, including the pitcher Mike Minor, and then Jason Hayward took him deep. A 3-run shot, his 23rd home run of the season. Johnson grounded out to the third baseman Sandoval, his first time up. For Hayward, Tim, his 5th home run in 9 career games in this ballpark.
This is a ballpark that is very, very difficult to get the ball out of the ballpark.
Just ask the Giants.
With only 20 as a team this year.
And you mentioned there are 3 players who have hit at least 20 home runs at home this season. Curtis Granderson of the Yankees with 20. Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers and Ryan Braun of the Brewers each have hit 21 at home.
When you talk about the San Francisco Giants, the first thing that comes to your mind as far as winning baseball is concerned is their pitching. Matt Cain, Tim Lincecum, Madison Bumgarner.
Up the middle, off Bumgarner. Johnson with a wide turn and then heads back to first. So the leadoff man is on for the third time in 4 innings for the Braves as we head back to the MLB Network studios, a DirecTV game break with Matt Vescursion. Matt?
And from there, Kenny, we head to the NL Central, winners of 4 straight. The Cardinals are charging on the Reds' 6-game division lead, but it's Cincinnati that's on the board first today with a Brandon Phillips RBI single. A little fun at the back end of this play. He's back in safe. A 1-0 lead for the Reds. A reminder, if you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. Back to Kenny and Tim in San Francisco.
All right, thanks, Matt. Look at the National League wild card standings as Bumgarner throws over to first. Coming into play today, Braves and Cardinals tied. And remember, for the first time this season, there will be 2 wild card teams out of each league, and they will face each other in a 1-game playoff.
With the trade to the Los Angeles Dodgers, I guess you really have to look towards September when the Giants play the Dodgers 3 in September, and then they end the season at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles with 3 games, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of October.
Scudero steps on second, throws to first for a double play.
Boy, that was a beauty there. Great play by Scudero. First, his positioning. You could see a lot of times with that runner running, that moves the second baseman towards second base. So Scudero was there. And Bumgarner glad he didn't make the play. Good play by Scudero.
So now 2 away for the former Cincinnati Red, Paul Giannis, who grounded out to the shortstop Arias back in the 2nd inning. So 6 games remaining between the Giants and the Dodgers. And on the other side, Freddie Gonzalez reminded us that his Braves will finish up with 3 games in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Pirates contending for the wild card as well as Arias throws out Giannis to end the inning. Buster Posey will bat third for the Giants when we return to the bottom of the 4th inning. runs, only one hit for the Giants as Marco Scutaro leads off here in the bottom of the fourth inning against Mike Minor, who has been given 3 runs of support. And he was a part of it. He scored one of those runs following the walk, and then Jason Hayward with the 3-run shot. As you mentioned earlier, in Minor's last 8 starts, 4 times in those 8, the Braves have not scored a run with Minor in the game as Scutaro flies out to Bourne in center. 1 away. Well, on Wednesday night, Budweiser hosted a Made in MLB Fan Cave concert featuring rock band The Walkmen to celebrate its renewal as the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Nothing goes better than Budweiser and baseball. Tim, I know you had a chance to visit the Fan Cave last season.
Been there a couple of times, yeah. Yeah, Ken and I were down there last year, and then Joe Buck and I were down at the Fan Cave this year. A lot of fun.
Ryan Wagner
talking about Chipper Jones putting Stan Musial's number 6 down at the Fan Cave. That surprised me. I'm not too sure I'd give the Fan Cave Stan Musial's jersey if it were given to me.
As long as they promised to keep it under lock and key.
Yeah.
Ryan Wagner, one of the guys in the Fan Cave last season, now the public address announcer at Camden Yards in Baltimore. As Sandoval flies out to Hayward in right for out number 2. Well, I know all the men and women in the Fan Cave have kept a close eye on Buster Posey this season. A look at what the Giants have done with and without Buster in their starting lineup. Buster called out on strikes back in the first inning as we head downstairs to Ken.
Well, Buster Posey last year, of course, Kenny, did not play after May 25th due to that horrible ankle injury he suffered. And I asked him if there was any point where he grew especially frustrated with his injury, and he said no, because he had the best possible thing to look forward to. His wife, Kristen, gave birth to twins, Lee and Addison, last August 14th. And as Buster put it, anyone who has kids knows how much work that is, know how much a distraction from work that can be. I didn't sit around thinking about my injury. I was too involved with them.
That's a lot of work on 2 good ankles.
So at least one positive coming out of the collision at home plate last year. As Buster Posey has bounced back in a big way here in 2012. Certainly one of the leading candidates for National League Comeback Player of the Year, along with Jason Hayward, A.J. Burnett, and Ryan Ludwig. All members of teams contending for the postseason. Our Twitter poll: who is, in your mind, the National League Comeback Player of the Year? Tweet your vote to MLB on Fox. A. Posey, B. Ludwig, C. Hayward, or D. Burnett. Who would your choice be, Tim?
Well, I think it would be Buster Posey, because Buster Posey is coming back from that injury. None of the other players are coming back from injuries.
Posey flies out to Johnson in left. Only one base runner for the Giants through the first 4 innings. That was Scutaro back in the first. Top of the 5th inning in San Francisco. Braves with a 3-0 lead. Jason Hayward, a 3-run home run at the top of the 3rd inning. Driving in both Mike Minor and Martin Prado, who had both walked. Bumgarner among the league leaders in fewest walks allowed per 9 innings. Walked the opposing pitcher Minor leading off the inning. And now Minor falls behind 0-2. We mentioned Clayton Kershaw had 2 hits off Bumgarner in Madison's last start, and the 2 pitchers discussed that the next day in the weight room at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Kershaw throwing Bumgarner all breaking balls.
Well, this time Bumgarner wins the battle.
Bumgarner saying that that's against the pitchers union. You can't throw me breaking balls.
So Minor back to the Braves dugout. We chatted with Giants pitching coach Dave Righetti moments ago, and we asked Dave about Bumgarner's performance so far today.
Yeah, he got a little glitch and threw a pitch to Hayward that he hit pretty darn well to right field, and we got down 3-0. But he's throwing the ball well, and he's getting his ground balls, which is what you're looking for. Just I think the 2 hitters, believe the pitcher and Prado, he got across his body a little bit and was yanking the ball a little bit, and unfortunately, they got one.
Rags, I did not have a chance to speak with you yesterday, but I asked Madison Bumgarner about throwing a 2-seam fastball. He said you and he had talked about it, but I guess some guys have a knack for that and others don't, right?
Yeah, no question. And not only that, Tim, it's the way he wraps the ball and the way he throws the ball to come back, stop that rotation of his arm to stay on the inside of the ball. I think it put a lot of stress on him, but there's a way to throw it without thinking about a sinker, too. You can throw 2-seamers and not call them sinkers. They're just moving fastballs that don't go the same way as your other one. So there's different ways to skin a cat with those things, but I just don't like guys manipulating the ball opposite of what their arm action is.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Best of luck,
guys.
Thanks, Rags.
All right, Tim.
I have never heard as good an explanation as to why pitchers don't use a 2-seam fastball as the one just described by Dave Righetti. The 2-seam fastball, again, will go away from a right-handed batter from a left-handed pitcher. That's a cross-seam fastball that can only go either up or toward a right-handed batter. I thought Rags, that's a 2-seam fastball. There it is, right. That's a changeup. The 2-seam fastball is used by pitchers to entice ground balls in double play situations, primarily.
And Dave Righetti mentioned the fact that Bumgarner has been inducing ground balls, double play back in the 4th inning, hit into by Uggla, then Giannis grounded out.
Another changeup.
Up the middle, base hit into center field. Second hit of the game for Prado, who's on base for the 3rd time. So a 2-out base runner for the Braves. A look at Jason Hayward's numbers during his spectacular rookie season in 2010, then the sophomore slump last year, redemption here in 2012. And a 3-run shot in the 3rd inning today. His 23rd home run of the season after Bumgarner walked both Minor and Prado. Hayward now with 68 runs batted in. As Prado goes, here's the throw from Posey. And it winds up in center field. Prado heads to 3rd. So Prado with his 15th steal of the season, and then advances to third on the Posey error.
There is something that Martin Prado has picked up off Madison Bumgarner. If you remember on that ball to end the first inning, he was running on that play. Ended up sliding into second when left fielder Francisco Peguero made the catch for the last out of the inning. So Prado has picked up something from Bumgarner, and it could be something that we'll never know the answer to. Those base runners will not tell you.
(2-0) from Bumgarner, missing low. Ball 3. We take you back to the third inning. 2 on, 1 out. Number 23 to deep right. Now the 3-0 from Bumgarner, catching the inside corner. 3-1. Once again, our Twitter poll today: who is the National League Comeback Player of the Year? Is it Buster Posey, Ryan Ludwig, Jason Hayward, or A.J. Burnett? Tweet your vote to MLB on Fox. That is the third walk issued by Bumgarner. So the Braves with runners on the corners for Freddie Freeman.
How about that? 240 and 2/3 innings for his career, a young career. He's only 23, and he's allowed 2 home runs to left-handed batters at home.
Both on August 25th. Joey Votto 2 years ago today. Jason Hayward in the third inning as Hayward is tagged out by Joaquin Arias to end the inning. Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country.
City by the Bay. What a gorgeous area.
And the local team taking part in the Little League World Series today from nearby Petaluma in the U.S. Championship game as Hunter Pence falls behind 0-1. It's Petaluma against a team from Goodlettsville, Tennessee, as Pence is hit by the pitch from Tennessee native Mike Minor, who grew up in Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, about 25 miles south of Nashville. He lives in Nashville now. And you and he were talking hockey yesterday, Mr. Albert.
Mike Minor has attended Nashville Predators games. He attended Vanderbilt, which is located in Nashville. He was a teammate of David Price for one season at Vanderbilt University. Here's Joaquin Arias. He takes ball one. Also played at Vanderbilt with Pedro Alvarez of the Pirates. Chapel Hill, Tennessee, population 944. He said he knows pretty much everybody. There are 2 stoplights. Chapel Hill with a total area of 1.4 square miles. But he is not the first major leaguer to come out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. 3-time All-Star Claude Osteen, also from the Chapel Hill area.
Claude Osteen, part of that rotation of Drysdale, Koufax, Osteen in the mid-60s for the Dodgers. Don Sutton joined that rotation in 1966.
Don Sutton, who was here doing the Braves radio broadcast today, as Arias throws this one into the left field corner. On his way to third, Pence in at second with a stand-up double. Arias extending his hitting streak to 5 games. So the Giants, who had only 1 base runner over the first 4 innings, now with second and third and nobody out in the 5th.
Well, Arias has come into his own over the last month. 64 starts this year. You can use him at third or short, but a huge hit right here. Boy, he turns on that fastball from Mike Minor. And the Giants with 2 on, nobody out here in the 5th.
With Brandon Belt at the plate. Belt with 3 hits in this series, fly to left his first time up. How about that? Arias batting .435 this month. Drove in 5 runs in a game earlier this week in Los Angeles.
Minor and catcher David Ross trying to keep the ball away from Belt. The reason for that, if Belt hits a ground ball on the right side, you accomplish 2 things. You not only score the run, but you push the runner from second to third. That's why pitchers in this situation primarily work away from the left-handed batter.
A 1-1 to Brandon Belt on the ground to the right side, scoring a run as Belt is thrown out by Ugla. Pence comes in to score. Arias moves to third. 39th run batted in of the season for Brandon Belt. Braves lead is now 3-1.
If there were a man on second and nobody out, you often see left-handed hitters trying to pull the ball. So Brandon Belt accomplishing 2 things, then scoring a run, pushing the other runner to third base. And congrats in the dugout, and he should get that. That's a tough pitcher against whom to do that.
So now with Arias on at third, Francisco Peguero batting for the second time. He saw Belt in the Giants dugout. Congratulated by his teammates after driving in a run. Peguero grounded out to the second baseman Ugla in his first major league at bat back in the 3rd inning as we were chatting with Chipper Jones. Peguero called up on Thursday to replace Justin Christian, who made a tremendous diving catch in a game on Wednesday, but injured his wrist. So Peguero in his 7th year in the Giants organization, recalled for the first time. He had a 22-game hitting streak come to an end earlier this week in AAA. Bumgarner has come out into the on-deck circle. You saw George Contos up and throwing in the Giants' pen.
Well, if the run scores, he'll definitely hit. No doubt about that.
2-1, long foul down the right field line as we check out our Lexus in-game box score. Giants with only 2 base hits. Scudero in the 1st. And an Arias double here in the 5th. Peguero awaiting the 2-2 from Minor. Arias the runner on 3rd with 1 out, and Peguero is down on strikes as Bumgarner looks into the Giants dugout, and he will step to the plate.
That's an excellent changeup from Mike Minor out of the strike zone, but most pitches on which hitters swing at a 2-pitch, most of them are out of the strike zone. Major league hitters are geared to hit the ball in the strike zone, and that's why most swinging strikeouts are on pitches that don't get in the strike zone.
5th strikeout for Minor, who will now pitch to Bumgarner. With 2 outs, runner on 3rd. Bumgarner with 8 hits this season. Popped to 1st back in the 3rd inning. Bumgarner gets the bat on it and lines out to the left fielder Johnson to end the inning. Giants score a run through 5 here in San Francisco. 3-1 Braves. Card, proud supporter of Stand Up to Cancer. And by Share Everything, it's the plan that revolves around you, only from Verizon. Back in San Francisco, Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal. Freddie Freeman swings at the first pitch from Bumgarner and pops out to the shortstop, Joaquin Arias, one away. Fox's coverage of the NFL preseason continues tomorrow as Peyton Manning and the Broncos host the 49ers. Both teams continue to get ready for the start of the regular season. Join Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Pam Oliver. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific only on Fox. There is Sergio Romo of the Giants, not a fan of Tony Romo and the Cowboys. He's wearing his Joe Montana jersey. He's ready for the NFL season to get underway.
Can't blame him. On this dog day afternoon.
It is the annual Dog Days of Summer here at AT&T Park. Fans walked in a pregame parade on the field prior to the game with their dogs. As Ross pops it up to the right side. Belt moving to his right. Quickly 2 away. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. As we check out some of the dogs that took part in the Dog Days of Summer.
That was a Bernese Mountain Dog. I used to have 2 of those. Those are fabulous dogs.
Say hi, Mochi.
In fact, you know Don Novello, the comedian, who used to be Father Guido Sarducci. He is the one that started the Portuguese water dogs here at McCovey Cove when they used to retrieve the few home runs that were hit out there, most of them by Barry Bonds, 35 to be exact.
35 out of the 61 splash home runs. And you and I were talking about it last night, and you mentioned Don Novello, and I did some research last night. The program was called BARK, B-A-R-K, an acronym for Baseball Aquatic Retrieval Corps.
Oh, that's great. Very nice. That's to be distinguished from BART.
Yes.
Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Exactly.
You don't want to go to BARK when you're looking for BART.
No. Never. Two-0 to Reed Johnson, missing inside. Ball 3. Bumgarner, an animal lover, lives on a farm in Hudson, North Carolina. I asked him what a typical day is like on the farm. He said, there's no typical day. He said, the only thing that doesn't change is I work out before the sun comes up every morning. Then I go feed the animals. He has 12 horses, 20 steer, 5 dogs, and he recently added 1 donkey. Barking while riding the BART.
There's a
you okay, Tim?
A dog with a BART bus. Oh gosh, that was great.
First place for creativity.
Jim Lynch, our director who does Giant games here. Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow do such a good job and have for years. John Miller doing radio with Kruk today. Yeah. Dave Fleming.
Our Lexus in-game box score for the Braves. Jason Hayward, a 3-run shot in the 3rd inning, gave Atlanta a 3-0 lead. You mentioned John Miller, and it was a lot of fun yesterday. The 2 of us and John, so I was with 2 Fort C. Frick Award winners simultaneously. Payoff pitch to Johnson, and he heads down to first. That is the 4th walk issued by Madison Bumgarner. There's John Miller on the left, Mike Krukow in the middle, Dave Fleming on the right. And I enjoyed listening to you and John talking about the preparation of your speeches and the advice you were given by various Hall of Famers. John Miller told us that after he concluded his speech, Bob Feller leaned over, shook his hand, said, "Great job, you kept it short."
And that, for the most part, is what Yogi Berra said to me. Keep it short.
Seems to be a common theme. Dan Uggla at the plate. Called out on strikes in the 2nd, grounded into a double play in the 4th. As we head downstairs to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, Uggla just 7 for his last 49 at the plate.
Oh, Kenny, his slump goes beyond even that. Since June 6th, he's batting just 145. You guys remember last year he hit just 233, but still had a career-high 36 home runs. It was his 5th straight 30-homer season. Well, this year he has only 15. He's not going to get to 30, and he is quite frustrated. He told me this season is a hard pill for him to swallow. And the way he put it, I know I can do a lot more.
Looking to keep this inning alive for the Braves with 2 outs and Reed Johnson, the runner on first.
The odd thing about Dan's season, hitting so poorly over the last 2 months of the season, as Kent said, 145, is that he did something last year that you would think would add to consistency. He had a 33-game hitting streak. That's the longest in Atlanta Brave history. So that would lead one to believe that he's a more consistent hitter than he has shown not only last year, but this year too.
By the way, today is Dan Uggla Day in nearby Sonoma, 45 miles north of San Francisco. Dan's sister Jane Uggla Tanner has worked with Joanne Saunders, the mayor of Sonoma, and Dan has been a positive role model for Sonoma youth. So Dan Uggla Day in Sonoma, California.
That.
So on Dan Uggla Day in Sonoma, here in San Francisco, Uggla is 0 for 3 on the dog days of summer.
Buster trade between the Red Sox and Dodgers has been approved by the commissioner's office. GM Ben Sherrington on the moves in Boston's disappointing season.
It didn't work out. There's not one reason for it. Injuries played a role. There were other things. It just got it's at a point where change was needed, and so this is part of that change. This is the first step towards that change.
Adrian Gonzalez is expected to make his Dodger debut tonight, batting cleanup against Josh Johnson and the Marlins, as we send you back out to the ballpark.
All right, thanks very much, Matt. So we saw the photo earlier tweeted by Nick Punto of Punto, Beckett, and Gonzalez heading west. And as Matt mentioned, Gonzalez expected to be in the Dodgers lineup tonight against the Marlins. Angel Pagan leading off, bottom of the 6th inning. Giannis makes the play, 1 away. So Ken Rosenthal with the Dodgers making the blockbuster deal. From a Giants standpoint, they have a season-high 3-game lead on the Dodgers. What do they do, if anything, in reaction to the Dodgers-Red Sox deal?
Well, Kenny, they would love to add a left fielder due to Melky Cabrera's suspension, but I spoke with someone today who said those talks, those efforts are going nowhere fast. And the reason is the waiver process. The Giants are in first place, and the teams behind them can block any quality player that might get through. And the teams behind them include the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, so that's part of the problem. The other thing is Rigor Blanco, their regular left fielder now with Melky out. He is an excellent defender behind this fly ball staff, so they want to be careful about who they add. But really the issue right now is that there is no one available that they can get that would really help them.
And as we mentioned, Ken, Giants 7-2 since the suspension of Melky Cabrera. As Scudero pops this one into shallow center. Catch is made by Bourne for out number 2. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, our Jeep game summary with the Braves leading the Giants 3-1. Jason Hayward a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning off Madison Bumgarner after Bumgarner walked both Minor and Prado. Minor has allowed only 2 hits in 5 2/3. Bumgarner has tied his career high, having walked 4. Sandoval with 2 outs and the bases empty. He's 0 for 2.
Sometimes you can look back on a game and look at one batter that really caused you to lose the ball game if you're a pitcher. And that one batter, as far as Bumgarner is concerned, is the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, Mike Minor. That walk, the leadoff before the 3-run thunder from Jason Hayward, has been the offense for the Braves today. The other walk to Martin Prado. That's where it went, Jason.
And now Ross with a visit to the mound. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning here in San Francisco. Braves have lost 6 of their last 7. Still tied for the wild card lead in the National League. Football tomorrow. 49ers, who reached the NFC Championship game a year ago, will take on Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. It still sounds strange. Now the 1-2 to Sandoval. He fouls it back. .79 pitches, only 2 hits allowed by Minor. 3 base runners.
Nice play.
A 10-pitch 6th with some help from Dan Uglin. Baseball presented by Budweiser. From AT&T Park in San Francisco, Braves lead the Giants 3-1. Top of the 7th inning, Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal. With Paul Giannis leading off, he's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to the shortstop, Joaquin Arias. The Atlanta Braves tied for the wild card lead of the National League. They had a poor month of September, of course, last season, winning just 10 of 30 games. And I thought it was interesting, Tim, when you asked Freddie Gonzalez earlier today, what are you going to do differently in September? He said, I'm going to be less patient than I was last year.
Yeah. Yeah, that struck me as a very honest answer also. The patience that a manager shows in April is not necessarily the patience he should show in September for a contending team. The reason for that, it's a long haul in April. When you get to September, you got to make snap judgments, and guys have to perform. You perform to win. Not that you don't do that in April, but a manager's much more patient with young players then.
For the third time today, Giannis grounds out to the shortstop Arias. One away. Time now for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. Mike Minor, over the first 6 innings, has allowed only 1 run on 2 hits. Just as Minor gives the Braves an edge, you too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. Minor looking for his 7th win of the season. Walked back in the 3rd inning, came around to score on the Hayward home run. And getting back to the conversation about Freddie Gonzalez and last September's struggles, he said he learned some valuable lessons through pain. And he spent a lot of time talking to Bobby Cox. Said he also learned from watching some of Tony La Russa's decisions last year as Minor sends this one to the warning track in right. It's only the 2nd base hit of the season for Mike Minor in 43 at-bats.
I believe that's his first extra base hit in his major league career also. My gosh. I mean, he hits this ball a ton. He has walked and scored in front of the Hayward home run. And now he doubles with 1 out over the head of Hunter Pence.
And he told us yesterday he was not looking forward to facing Bumgarner.
Yep.
So Minor on at second following his 1-out double. Fifth career hit for Minor. Action in the Giants pen, George Cantos and Jose Majares. So Mike Minor helped his own cause back in the 3rd inning with the leadoff walk. Looking to do it again here in the 7th. A 1-out double. Bounce foul to the right side.
Mike Minor is at second base, and he looks like a fighter out there. It looks like his hands are taped up, but he's got 2 running gloves on. He's had 5 major league hits, and he has running gloves. You got to love that. Talk about this age of specialization.
Maybe they're not his.
Probably not. Or if they are, he hadn't had a chance to use them that much.
They're clean. (3-1) to Bourne, and a base hit into right center. Here's Minor rounding 3rd with those running gloves on. He scores the Braves' 4th run. 2nd run scored by Minor today. It is 4-1 Atlanta.
If someone had told you before this game started that the Braves would score 4 runs and Mike Minor would score half of those, I don't think you'd have believed it.
That will be all for Madison Bumgarner. Scored 2 runs. He's allowed only 1.
He gets to shake the hand of a Hall of Famer with his running glove on before shedding it. What a story. He has reason to smile today.
George Contos on in relief of Madison Bumgarner. Facing Martin Prado as Bourne is back in at first. 104 pitches for Bumgarner. Tied a career high with the 4 walks. He's allowed 4 runs and is responsible for Michael Bourne, the runner on at first.
In our opening this afternoon, we talked about the importance of the Braves to have the lead after 6 innings. They are undefeated, the only undefeated team in the major leagues. When they lead after 6 innings, 45-0. That's because of those well-rested guys in the bullpen. O'Flaherty, Kimbrel, Venters, as good as it gets.
One and one on Prado, who has reached base 3 times. He has 2 base hits, scored a run back in the 3rd. We'll check in on the Reds and the Cardinals momentarily. Jose Majares, the left-hander. Jason Hayward waiting on deck. His home run gave the Braves a 3-0 lead back in the 3rd inning. The 1-2 to Prado. Contos has it deflect off his glove. He can't find it. Everybody's safe.
Ball's not hit that hard, so you don't even worry about the runner at second base. Bruce Bochy's going to have to make a move. That's going to be an error on Contos. But all you do there is throw the ball to first base and forget the speedy Bourne at second.
So Jose Mijares will come in from the Giants' pen. Committed the error when he could not feel the ball hit by Prado. So Jose Mijares on to face Jason Hayward. Mijares claimed on waivers from Kansas City 3 weeks ago. Left-hander against left-hander. Hayward with a 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning off Madison Bumgarner, who was chased here in the 7th. Mijares, the 3rd Giants pitcher in this 7th inning. Bourne, the runner on second. Prado takes his lead off first. Strike one to Hayward.
In love, you look before you leap. In baseball, you don't leap before you look. He looked too soon, and the ball came off the edge of the glove. An error on Contos. That makes it first and second, and a better chance for Bourne to be thinking about stealing third at second base with only 1 out.
Hayward behind in the count, 0-2. Play Hensley up and throwing in the Giants' pen. The 0-2 from Mijares in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves lead 4-1. Giants have won the first 2 games of this series. 5-2 on Thursday night. 5-3 last night. 3-game lead in the National League West for San Francisco. Atlanta tied for the National League wild card lead with St. Louis. Two and two.
I'll guarantee you down in Los Angeles that television in the home clubhouse is on loud and clear. And the Dodgers very happy that the Giants are trailing here. By the way, Clayton Kershaw goes in that game tonight against Josh Johnson of the Marlins. Kenny, you were talking about it earlier. That'll be the start of Adrian Gonzalez at first base.
Nice play by Scudero, gets the out at second, throw to first, not in time. Hayward safe at first, so the Braves now with runners on the corners and 2 outs as we go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for another game break.
St. Louis and Cincinnati. Kenny, Reds up 2-1 in the 6th, and Jay Bruce 4 for 23 in his career against Jaime Garcia. 2-run home run. A Cincinnati win means a 7-game lead over the defending World Series champs in the Central. Now 4-2 Reds as we get you back out to San Francisco.
Thanks very much, Matt. Now 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning for Freddie Freeman as we check out the National League Central standings entering play today. Reds with a 6-game lead on the Cardinals. Pirates in the wild card hunt as well. Houston Astros, of course, at the bottom of the division, but a lot of talk about whether or not we will see Roger Clemens in an Astros uniform this season. Scheduled to pitch tonight for the Sugar Land Skeeters at the age of 50.
Your feelings about that? You know what mine are? Sadness.
What were your feelings on your former teammate Bill Lee picking up a win earlier this week? There you go. At the age of 65, pitching for the San Rafael Pacifics in an independent league, the oldest pitcher to win a professional game in baseball history.
He got a hit in that game too.
Did he?
That's what he loves to do, is hit. 65-year-old winner, Bill Lee, and he is a winner.
And a teammate of yours in Boston back in the mid-70s.
Yep.
The 0-2 to Freeman. Shallow right. Second baseman Scudero is under it. Braves add a run, but they strand 2. It is 7th inning stretch time in San Francisco. Texas. The Golden Opportunity Sales Event is here. And by Prudential. Prudential, bring your challenges. 4-1 lead for the Braves, as Buster Posey will lead off for the Giants here in the bottom of the 7th inning against 24-year-old left-hander Mike Minor, who has received run support today, something that has been lacking in Minor's recent starts, and he has scored 2 of the 4 Braves runs. Posey 0 for 2. Giants have only 2 base hits in the game. One, 2 to Posey. And the Giants with their 3rd base hit as Posey singles into left field. Leadoff man is on for the Giants here in the 7th. This hit will be on Fox Season. Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Kenny Albert, Tim McCarver. Giants 7-2 in their last 9 games. If they have run into a major problem today, his name is Mike Minor.
And a major problem over the last 3 innings is the Atlanta Braves bullpen, and that's why Roger McDowell, the Atlanta pitching coach, is out to talk to Mike right now, because there's no way Freddie Gonzalez is going to let this game get away with a starting pitcher with all that talent in the bullpen. I mean, these are arguably the toughest innings for any team to get through with the bullpen that the Atlanta Braves have.
You saw Chad Durbin and Luis Avilan up in the Atlanta pen. Posey on at first as Hunter Pence takes ball 1. Pence struck out in the 2nd, hit by a pitch, came around to score the Giants' only run of the 5th. Popped up, foul territory. No, it stays fair. Looked like it was heading foul, and Hayward makes the catch. So Hunter Pence, acquired from the Phillies at the deadline, is retired. And Ken Rosenthal, it was bobble day, a bobblehead day in Philadelphia, despite the absence of Hunter Pence last week.
Yes, Kenny, a bit of an uncomfortable moment for the Phillies after making that trade. They had the bobblehead night scheduled for Tuesday night, Hunter Pence bobblehead night. And they basically asked him, Hunter, are you okay with this? And he said, yes, go ahead and do it. And he included a message that they put inside the bobblehead box, basically thanking the Phillies fans for a great year in his career. Kind of a classy touch all around.
Very popular player during his time in Philadelphia. Hayward makes a running catch to retire Arias for out number 2.
Well, I mean, you had 20,000 bobbleheads, right? What are you going to do with them? You might as well give them away to loyal Philly fans. And they love Hunter Pence, and in that city. And after that message, it was really, as Ken said, a classy move all the way around.
So Pence and Arias both fly out to Hayward. Now 2 outs with Posey on at first, and Brandon Belt takes ball 1. Belt drove in the Giants' only run back in the 5th inning. Sizzling during the month of August. By the way, with the win last night, Bruce Bochy, for the first time since June of 2002, evened his career managerial record at 500. He now has 1,431 wins, 1,431 losses. And a World Series title in 2010.
'18th year for Bruce Bochy as manager of the San Diego Padres and Giants.
And he watches as Belt is in with a stand-up double. Posey holds at third, so the Giants with second and third with 2 away, and Francisco Peguero due up.
I would imagine this will be the last batter. And Buster Posey, who is not a fast runner, if that ankle were a little better, he scores on that ball with 2 out.
So with runners on second and third, Freddie Gonzalez out to the mound, and that is it for Mike Minor. The first inning, 6 innings, has allowed 2 here in the 7th. After throwing 91 pitches, he is replaced by the right-hander Chad Durbin, and he will face a pinch hitter, the former Brave Gregor Blanco.
Bit of a surprise, huh, Kenny?
Well, Blanco took Durbin deep on July 18th in Atlanta. Blanco's last home run. He's 3 for 7 lifetime against Durbin.
Right, that's his last home run back on July 18th, a few days after the All-Star break. So we'll see how Durbin works him here. I would think keep the ball away.
Hector Sanchez has come out into the on-deck circle for the Giants should Blanco reach.
Make a mistake away, it's a single. Make a mistake inside, could be a home run. He'd like that one back.
So with the Giants trailing by 3, runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Blanco pinch hitting for Francisco Peguero, who made his major league debut today. Blanco with a base hit into the right field corner. Posey scores. Belt scores. It's a 1-run game. RBIs number 30 and 31 for Gregor Blanco against his former club.
You make a mistake inside, it's trouble. And that's where the mistake was made from Durbin. Breaking ball inside, a slider, and Blanco turns on it to score 2 runs.
So with Blanco on at second, the potential tying run, Sanchez has been called back. And Ryan Theriot will bat for Jose Mijares. Fastball missing low, ball one. So those runs charged to Mike Minor. So Minor allows 3 runs on 4 hits in 6 2/3. Now 3-0.
And the Giants' hottest hitter on deck.
Angel Pagan, who is 0 for 3 today, but sizzling over the last week and a half. Two runs in the inning. Blanco takes his lead off second. Left center off the bat of Theriot. Long run for Johnson. He makes the catch to end the inning. But the Giants score 2 through 7. It's a 4-3 Atlanta Braves lead. A day for the Giants, making his 53rd appearance. And Gregor Blanco remains in the game in left field after his 2-run pinch double. So with the Braves leading 4-3, David Ross leads off here in the top of the 8th inning. Ross 0 for 3 today. First pitch fouled off down the left field line, 0-1.
Are we believing what we're hearing in the truck? Gregor Blanco, who had that big hit in the 7th, bottom of the 7th, stays in the game in left field, and there's Hensley. That Petaluma came back to tie that game up. Are you kidding me?
They were down by 10 runs.
10 runs.
It is now 15-15 in Williamsport.
My gosh. Only 6 innings played in the Little League. But Petaluma has come back down 15-5 at one time in that game, and they've come back to tie it. My goodness.
In the U.S. Championship game, Petaluma, California, and Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Johnny Gomes of the Oakland A's, who was one of their heroes in their win over the Tampa Bay Rays last night, is a native of Petaluma. He's been keeping a close eye on the 12-year-olds from his hometown. As David Ross sends this one into the left field corner. Ross on his way to second, and he is in with a stand-up double.
David Ross got a high breaking ball, looked like about shoulder high, and hammered it down the left field line. Good hitting by David Ross, and now we'll see what Reed Johnson does. Is he going to bunt the runner over?
So if Petaluma does in fact win the game, you think Al Michaels will be flown in for the final call?
Perhaps. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Unbelievable. That was the 1980 hockey game, of course. Famous call by a good buddy of ours, Al Michaels.
32 years ago in Lake Placid.
He's made a few of those. Those memorable calls.
In multiple sports.
Yes, he has.
More Fox Saturday baseball next week. Braves and Phillies, Cardinals and Nationals, Angels and Mariners. Ross for the leadoff double here at the top of the 8th inning.
I think he's bunting.
He bunts it foul.
Trying to bunt to get Sandoval to field the ball at third base. That's the best way to have it successful, with a runner on at second base or first and second. Try to make the third baseman field the ball. And the Giants showing no sign of a wheel play that infield's used to negate that particular play of bunting the ball to third.
The 1-1, Johnson with another bunt foul off to the left side. Now 1-2. The 1-2 to Johnson, missing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, they're going to extra innings in Williamsport, Ken Rosenthal.
Well, and the players are actually following along, Kenny. Matt Cain just walked by me in the dugout and asked me if Petaluma came back. Of course, the answer was yes. And keep in mind, across the bay, Johnny Gomes, Oakland Athletics, great season for him, native of Petaluma.
And you mentioned Matt Cain. I was watching the local news this morning, and Matt Cain was scheduled to place a phone call to the Petaluma team prior to their game today.
Yeah.
Japan beat Panama 10-2. There's Cain in the international final to advance.
Anything but a perfect game, however, in Williamsport this afternoon.
Far from it. Although it might be perfect in the minds of the Petaluma players and fans if they come back to win as Johnson strikes out for out number 1. Well, don't miss the biggest event of the season. Fox Fantasy Football, presented by Burger King. Easy league setup, Fox Fantasy Insider info, always free to play. Play in a private league with a group of friends or join a public league. Sign up today at foxsports.com/fantasy. 1 out. Runner on second. Here's Dan Uggla. Uggla 0 for 3 today. Tim, I drove through Trumbull, Connecticut earlier this week. They won the 1989 Little League World Series, and Chris Drury was the star pitcher, went on to have a great hockey career in the National Hockey League, won a Stanley Cup. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated back in the summer of '89 after Trumbull, Connecticut won the Little League World Series in Williamsport.
I'll tell you, Petaluma wins that game. That's the only thing that can match Giant headlines in this town. That's if Petaluma continues. They've tied it up, coming from 10 runs down to tie it at 15-15. And they're now in extra innings. Just remarkable.
Facing a team from Goodlettsville, Tennessee in the U.S. Championship game. We are told 14 players came to the plate for Petaluma in the 6th inning. Two-one to Uggla. He did not go around, says Sam Holbrook. Ball 3. Now, I read a quote from Johnny Gomes as we take one more look. Johnny Gomes of the A's, Petaluma resident. He said, I'm sure the kids are watching Major League games. Well, we are watching their games like we're the 12-year-olds. (3-1). Hensley missing low and inside. Ball 4 to Uggla. So the Braves with 2 on, only 1 out. Time for a game break. We head to the MLB Network studios. And Matt.
Kenny, Cardinals and Reds had split their first 10 meetings this year. Been a very evenly matched season series. You'd never know that today. Scott Rowland's 2-run single making it 7-2 Reds. Now an 8-2 Cincinnati lead. Kenny, back to you and Timmy in San Francisco.
All right, thanks, Matt. Pitching coach Dave Righetti out for a visit with Clay Hensley with 2 on and 1 out. You had a look at Jeremy Affeldt in the Giants' pen. We're getting back to the dugout. Paul Janisch 0 for 3. He's grounded out to the shortstop Arias in all 3 at bats. Janisch just 1 for his last 18. Big opportunity here. And he fouls off the first pitch down the left field line. 0-1. Eric Hinsky has come out into the on-deck circle with the pitcher spot due up next. Giannis with a base hit into left field. So the Braves have loaded the bases here in the top of the 8th inning.
Off the end of the bat. So Paul Janisch finds a hole after the walk to Dan Uggla. Right off the end of the bat, a little flare into left field. And that's good coaching by third base coach Brian Snitker to hold David Ross for third base with 1 out. With 2 outs, you try to score him, not with 1.
Bruce Bochy takes the ball from Clay Hensley. Jeremy Affeldt coming in from the Giants' pen. will face Tyler Pasternicki with the bases loaded. Eric Hinske was announced as a pinch hitter, but after the pitching change, Freddie Gonzalez sends up Pasternicki, who's batting .250 this season, 4 for 15 as a pinch hitter.
With a home run and an RBI. And the Braves need a clutch hit badly here in the 8th inning of this game.
Bases loaded, only 1 out. Braves lead by a run.
Good play by Posey. Talked about hockey in the 1980 hockey game, USSR against the United States. A skate save right here. Good play by Posey.
Doing his best Jim Craig impersonation.
Yeah, right. I knew you'd know that.
The 2-0. Fastball in for strike one. Bases full of Braves. Ross the runner on third. Ugla at second. Yadish over at first. Pasternicki at the plate with 1 out. Bounce to the right side. Belt gets the force at home for out number 2.
That's why you pinch the first baseman in a play like that. You're not trying to get a double play. Just want to get the one sure out on the short hop. Good play by Brandon Belt.
So now with 2 outs, base is still loaded. Here's Michael Bourne. Bourne drove in a run his last time up with a single up the middle. 2 for 4 today, struck out twice. By the way, the Braves have 2 grand slams this season, both off the bat of Brian McCann. Bounce to the right side, foul, 1-1 on Bourne. There's McCann. Braves took a 3-0 lead in the third on a Jason Hayward 3-run home run off Giants starter Madison Bumgarner. Giants scored a run in the 5th. Braves added to their lead in the top of the 7th, and then the Giants would score 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-1 to Bourne, and Affelt misses away, ball 2. Fastball in for strike 2.
3 breaking balls, and then the fastball makes that fastball look a lot faster when you're sitting on the breaking ball.
Fans on their feet here in San Francisco. The 2-2 from Affelt. Just missed.
That was close. 2-2 curveball. I think it was called inside or high. Probably high. Good call by Joe West.
With the bases loaded, payoff pitch to Bourne. He fouls it back. #148th consecutive sellout crowd here at AT&T Park. 41,679 on hand. Giants won the first 2 games of this series. Braves lead today 4-3. Ball 4 outside, and the Braves now lead 5-3.
Well, what a gritty at bat by Michael Bourne to coax a walk out of Jeremy Affelt. That's a huge run scored by the Braves with that terrific bullpen of theirs. Michael Bourne falling behind in the count and then drew the walk off Hatfield. That ball just missing outside after that 2-2 curve just missed up.
6 Braves have walked today as Martin Prado takes ball 1. Remember Bumgarner, who did not walk a batter in his last start. He struck out 10. He walked 4 today, including 2 in the 3rd inning. Minor and Prado, and then Hayward with a 3-run home run. Two-0 to Prado. Now 2-1. 5-3 Atlanta, top of the 8th inning. Hayward looming on deck should Prado reach. Bounce foul back behind third, now 2-2.
I think it's interesting to note where Dan Uggla was on that 3-2 pitch to Michael Bourne. Look where he looks like he's coming from the Giant dugout. Of course, you can go as far into foul territory as you want to try to avoid the ball being hit your way.
Fouled off to the right side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. And the Braves leading the Giants 5-3. Hatfield looking to get out of this inning without any more damage. Payoff pitch to Prado. Another walk. 2 consecutive bases loaded walks, and the Braves now lead 6-3.
This reminds me of a story of Earl Weaver when asked by Pat Kelly if he wanted to go to chapel on a Sunday morning in Minnesota, and Earl said, "No, I'm not going this morning." And Pat Kelly said, "Does that mean you don't want to walk with the Lord?" And Earl said, "What I'd like is a walk with the bases loaded." And the Braves have had 2 of them here in the 8th inning today. 2 walks with the bases loaded.
A 7-pitch at bat to Bourne, an 8-pitch at bat to Prado. And they both drive in runs on bases loaded walks. Something Earl Weaver was looking for.
Yes.
So the bases remain loaded for Jason Hayward. Braves now lead 6-3 as the curve is in for strike 1. One career grand slam for Hayward, just 2 for 14 with the bases loaded. Hit a 3-run shot back in the 3rd inning. Diving stop by Scudero, and that will end the inning. But the Braves score 2. Middle of the 8th, top of the order, 2 up. Pagan will lead off for the Giants. Drive, our nationwide 4G network. And by new Just for Men, Auto Stop is foolproof. Gray is over. Bottom of the 8th inning here in San Francisco with the Braves now leading the Giants 6-3. Eric O'Flaherty, the third Atlanta pitcher. Angel Pagan, 0 for 3 today, takes strike one. 51st appearance for O'Flaherty. Fastball in for strike two. Tim, an update from Williamsport after Petaluma, California scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie the U.S. Championship game at the Little League World Series at 15. They went to extra innings. As Pagan fouls it back, the team from Goodlettsville, Tennessee has scored 9 runs in the top of the 7th, and they now lead 24-15.
Get out of here. I mean, come on.
19 runs in less than 1 full inning. Our statistician extraordinaire Marty Aronoff tells us that Petaluma used to be known as the arm wrestling capital of the United States.
Really? How about that?
I don't even want to know how Marty knows that one.
No.
Pagan down on strikes. As we head downstairs to Ken Rosenthal. Ken?
Well, guys, you remember last season when the Braves, Johnny Venters and Craig Kimbrell, wore down in September. That was a big reason behind their collapse. Well, look at this. The usage this season of the big 3 relievers, including O'Flaherty, much less. Now, there are some reasons for this. Freddie Gonzalez went to a less aggressive pattern starting around the All-Star break last year. Also, the Braves played 26 extra innings games last season. That was a club record. And they also had Chris Medlin this year. That helped bridge the gap and a better offense. All of these things combined have them in much better shape going into September with their big 3 relievers.
To give you an idea of how effective Chris Medlin has been, the Braves have not lost in his last 16 starts.
And that broke John Smoltz' franchise record. Smoltz once went 15 starts without the Braves losing during those 15 starts. Ken mentioned the 26 extra inning games last year. This season only 8 so far. Scudero 1 for 3 today. Fastball is in for strike 2. Two from O'Flaherty, lifted into left field. Johnson back, and he reaches up, makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2.
We have seen 2 good plays in left field today. The catch on the David Ross liner by Francisco Peguero earlier in the game. That was in the 1st inning. And now a good play by Reed Johnson to prevent at least 2 off the bat of Marco Scudero.
That play mentioned by Peguero back in the 1st inning, the first ball that he ever handled in the major leagues.
Yeah, first chance.
Long foul off the bat of Sandoval, who was 0 for 3 today. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Braves lead the Giants 6-3. This is Prado. We head to the 9th with the Braves leading by 3. Joe West wearing a microphone for us today.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Well, we don't care if you hit it, just hit it the other way. Yeah. Ooh. Okay?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Nothing up there, Joe.
How many numbers?
6. Ain't nothing up there, baby.
Well, he was multiplying 3 times 2.
That's right. Joe should have asked how many fingers, not how many numbers.
Yeah, how many numbers? Yeah, right. You're giving away the answer by asking that.
And on the first piece of video, he suggested that Mike Minor try and hit it in the other direction. Well, he did in the 7th inning when he doubled and then came around to score. The Braves starting pitcher has scored 2 of the 6 Atlanta runs today.
Yeah, 2 key at bats. The leadoff walk that led to the 3-run home run, and the 1-out double that led to the single run in the 7th inning for the Braves.
So now Freddie Freeman leading off against the 6th Giants pitcher of the day, 29-year-old right-hander Eric Hacker, former Pirate and Twin, making his 4th appearance for the Giants this season. Quiet day for Freeman. He's 0 for 4 after he homered twice in last night's game.
Kenny mentioned earlier that Mike Minor was from Chapel Hill, Tennessee, near Goodlettsville. So I'm sure he was very happy at the turnaround. Goodlettsville coming back with 9 in the top of the 7th inning to lead Petaluma.
Goodlettsville located 13 miles from Nashville. And Mike Minor told us Chapel Hill's about 45 minutes from Nashville. Minor in line for his 7th win of the season. Madison Bumgarner, the Giants starter, has only lost once at home this season, 8-1 here at AT&T Park. While we have a moment, Tim, want to send out best wishes to Michael Weiner, the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, who is undergoing treatments for a brain tumor. He's continuing to work. So best wishes, Michael, if you're watching.
Best wishes to a terrific guy, and a guy that has baseball, along with Commissioner Seelig, headed in the right direction.
Absolutely. As Freeman singles into left field, I had a chance to spend some time with Michael during Hall of Fame weekend in Cooperstown when you received the Ford C. Frick Award back in late July. Freeman on for the first time today. Leadoff single here in the top of the 9th inning. So now David Ross, 1 for 4, doubled his last time up in the 8th.
I think one of the toughest positions to fill in Major League Baseball is that of a backup catcher. And David Ross, who is at the plate right now, may be the best at that position as a backup in the major leagues. Occasional home run, does a very good job behind the plate, hits for an average, and it's very difficult. Very difficult to do that. Only 34 starts this year. Keep your timing offensively. Keep your timing behind the plate, because throwing timing is very important for a catcher.
His 11th Major League season. Originally drafted by the Dodgers. Freeman goes. Throw down to second from Posey is not in time. Freeman is in with his 2nd stolen base of the season.
Speaking of timing by a catcher, I think that swing by David Ross upset the timing of Buster Posey. It's a late swing, And Posey had to stay back there and didn't have a good grip on the ball. And stealing easily is Freddie Freeman, only his second stolen base of the year.
Now the 1-1 to Ross. Braves lead 6-3. Jason Hayward got things started back in the third inning with a 3-run home run, his 23rd of the season, off Madison Bumgarner, who had walked 2 in the inning, including the opposing pitcher, Mike Minor. An uncharacteristic 4 walks issued by Bumgarner. He allowed 4 runs on 7 hits and 6 1/3. Braves now lead 6-3. They scored 2 runs in the 8th on bases loaded walks. Ross down on strikes. 1 away. Well, next Saturday, college football comes to Fox as Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington will get you ready for kickoff with the Ford Fox College Saturday pregame. Then Heisman Trophy frontrunner Matt Barkley and top-ranked USC take their first step on the road to a national championship as the Trojans take on Hawaii. The premiere of Fox College Football presented by Geico next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And then the NFL on Fox will get underway the following weekend, Sunday, September 9th. The 19th season of the NFL on Fox.
Well, you have a dandy game with which to open the season down in New Orleans with all the travails that organization has had this year.
Saints and the Redskins. One of the early games on the opening Sunday of the NFL season. Aaron Kromer, the interim head coach of the Saints, in the absence of both Sean Payton, the head coach who is suspended for the entire season, and Joe Vitt, the interim head coach, suspended for the first 6 games. And on the other side, RG3, Robert Griffin III, the rookie out of Baylor, will make his NFL debut at quarterback for the Redskins in that game. Freeman, the runner on second, 1 out. Reed Johnson is 1 for 3 with a walk.
Sounds like a new star of Star Wars, RG3.
RG3. But as a rival, OCU Manura of the New York Giants said a couple of weeks ago, until he does anything, to me, he's Bob Griffin.
That's great. That's a great line. He's some talent, though, from what everyone understands.
Base hit down the right field line off the bat of Johnson. Here's Freeman. He will score easily, and the Braves now lead 7-3. 17th run batted into the season. Second hit today for Reed Johnson.
That's a great job by Johnson on that fastball away. Just poking it down the right field line. That pitch may have been off the plate. I think it was. Does not try to do too much with it, and doubles in the 7th run of this ball game for the Braves.
A Braves team that had scored only 17 runs over their last 7 games combined, winning only 1 of the 7. They've exploded for 7 here today. Dan Uglo 0 for 3 with a walk. 7 runs on 11 hits for the Braves. 3 runs, only 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Giants. Johnson takes his lead off second. Two and one. Two balls, 2 strikes on Uggla with 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Braves now leading the Giants 7-3. Eric Hacker, the 6th Giants pitcher. Bumgarner, the starter, allowed 4 runs. Bullpen has allowed 3 runs. Broken bat grounder. Bat winds up past the mound. Uggla thrown out by the shortstop Arias for out number 2. Johnson holds at second. Well, we were talking about it just a couple of minutes ago. September 9th, the regular season begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Redskins take on the Saints. It's the Eagles and the Browns, Falcons, Chiefs, Rams, Lions. And then in America's Game of the Week, it's the San Francisco 49ers taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Or other regional action. Coverage begins September 9th with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings for the games in your area. Paul Janisch takes high, ball 1. A lot of excitement out here in the Bay Area last year with the 49ers.
Yeah, boy.
And their turnaround under Jim Harbaugh. Center field, Pagan. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Posey, Pence, Arias, 2 up. Giants trail by 4. Play of the game, we take you back to the 3rd inning. Jason Hayward off Madison Bumgarner, a 3-run home run. 23rd of the season for Hayward, 2nd in as many games. He took Ryan Vogelsong deep last night. This gave the Braves a 3-0 lead. And they have not looked back. Atlanta now out on top 7-3. Bottom of the 9th inning. Craig Kimbrell, the National League Rookie of the Year last season. 31 saves this year. This, of course, not a save situation. Kimbrell making his 47th appearance. Will face the middle of the Giants order, with Atlanta leading 7-3.
I think one thing this game has proven, that when Angel Pagan has been as good as he has this week, and you keep him off the bases, then you've done a pretty good job in beating the San Francisco Giants. Pagan has been so hot for the last 8-9 games, and 0 for 4 today, and has not gotten the ball out of the infield.
And Bruce Bochy told us he's been a different player, different hitter since he put him up in the leadoff spot.
Right.
And the numbers have proven that. 4 for 5 last night. Led off all 3 games during the Dodgers series this week with a base hit. Came around to score in the first inning in all 3 of those games. But Pagan has not been on base today. Giants have only 5 base hits. Posey has one of them. Single came around to score in the 7th. Hunter Pence waiting on deck. Posey leading off for the Giants in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2. Posey awaiting the 2-2 from Kimbrell. Another foul off to the right side. Great job by our entire crew today here in San Francisco, led by producer Jeff Gowen, director Jim Lynch, associate director Eric Billigmeyer, associate producer Andy Cavanaugh, our technical producer Danny Rotante, technical director Simon Benazra. Pre-game show produced by Rich Gincimino, directed by Mark Deaver. The coordinating producers Mike Santini and Don Bowie. Posey went around for out number 1. We asked you earlier who was the National League Comeback Player of the Year. Many of you tweeted. 57% say that man, Buster Posey. 28% say that man, Jason Hayward. 9% for A.J. Burnett, 6% Ryan Ludwig. Posey with 80 runs batted in. Hayward a 3-run shot today. Burnett 15 wins after the trade from the Yankees to the Pirates. And Ludwig having an outstanding season as well, as Pence lines out to Hayward in right.
Hey, the one thing that's been noticeable about the Braves defense is the ground covered by Jason Hayward. He has played a terrific right field, and it's the first time I've seen him this year, Kenny, and I've got to say his defense looks like it's picked up a great deal, because this is a tough right field to play in this ballpark.
With the Giants down to their final out, Joaquin Arias takes strike 1. Giants won the first 2 games in this series. It will be Tim Lincecum and Tim Hudson tomorrow. And then the Giants will hit the road. 3 in Houston, 3 in Chicago. Braves will head south to San Diego. The 0-2 from Kimbrell, and it's fouled off to the right side. Dodgers, of course, keeping an eye on this game.
Oh, yeah.
Giants lead at the start of the day, 3 games over Los Angeles. Braves began the day tied with the Cardinals for the wild card lead. St. Louis losing in Cincinnati today 8-2. Two from Kimbrel, and Arias shoots it into shallow right, coming on in foul territory to make the backhanded catch is Hayward, and the ball game is over. Braves win at 7-3. Minor the win. He's 7-10. Bumgarner the loss. He drops to 14-8. Jason Hayward with a big blow, a 3-run shot in the third. For Tim McCarver and Ken Rosenthal, Kenny Alberts saying so long. Now to Matt Feskersen and Dan Plesac.